else. But now it is Friday, and actually I know who it felt like a very, 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 very long week for.
Bryce Young?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of months packed in the last few days for old BY. Bryce Young's out of the spotlight now. I actually think he might like that. I actually think he might feel like, hey, you know what? Let me go chill in the background for a little bit. I'll be over here.
Oh, I can breathe.
Give me the headset. Give me the clipboard. I'm gonna watch for a little bit. But with him stepping out of the spotlight, if we learned anything about the NFL, I don't know if anyone else pays attention to ratings or streaming numbers or YouTube numbers or the stuff that we care about. The NFL is king. 14 of the most watched television shows this year have already been NFL football games. So Bryce Young not playing means he's out of the spotlight. It doesn't mean there is no spotlight. It means the spotlight's got to find someone else to focus in on. And for the Panthers this week, you may think it's Andy Dalton. I don't think it is Andy Dalton. I think it's Dave Canales. Head coach, it's time to fully step into the spotlight. And not really as a head coach either, as an offensive play caller. Play callers can be hamstrung by their quarterback. We've seen it. Seen it a bunch of different examples. Every level of football. If you don't trust your quarterback, your play calling becomes an issue. It's why, if you listen to this show, I preach trust so often between offensive play caller and quarterback. Because if you don't trust them, you can't always call your favorite play.
Limits you.
And if you can't call, it's hard enough to call an effective offense in the NFL when you can call your most perfect favorite play every single play. So it's even more difficult if you got to go to sometimes your second, third, fourth, fifth favorite play because you don't think your quarterback can be trusted with the others. So I've been underwhelmed, I think is the way to put it. Underwhelmed with the offensive scheme and strategy and play calling for the offense of the Carolina Panthers. Through 2 games, though, you could pretty much argue that there was a lack of trust, and they didn't trust Bryce Young to do a whole bunch of things. They didn't trust him to get him out of bad plays. They didn't trust him to minimize the damage on bad plays. Didn't trust him to push the ball downfield. Didn't trust him to get rid of the ball when it's third down and you're protecting field goal range. You just couldn't trust him. Andy Dalton you can trust. Andy Dalton is a veteran quarterback. He might not be Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes physically, right? He's not going to be 6'4", 6'5", running people over. He's not going to be throwing it off balance 45 yards on a rope, but you can trust him with the entire playbook. You can trust him to drive the car. Dave Canales was asked how practices looked with Andy Dalton running the ones.
Practice looks sharp, just constant communication. He's talking to guys, which, is just a continuation of building our concepts, building our team, and finding our identity.
Now that you have Andy Dalton running the show, I need better play calling from you, Dave Canales. It's actually, you know what? It's kind of a smaller version, a shortened version of the same arc we watched with Bryce Young. Last year, Bryce Young didn't play well enough. But what did he have? Excuses, reasons. The offensive line wasn't playing well enough. The wide receivers weren't getting open. When they were dropping passes. All of this, the lack of stability, the injuries around him. So you came into this year with, all right, well, now the spotlight's on you. They spent a bunch of money on the offensive line. It's better. They spent a bunch of draft capital and trade resources on the wide receivers. They're better. You don't have the injuries going early in the season as much. You have all of this. So then when Bryce Young didn't play better, the spotlight was on him. He got benched. Dave Canales, through 2 games, haven't run an offense good enough. But what did you have? Excuses. Reasons. Well, it was Bryce Young doing this. It was Bryce Young doing that. It was Bryce Young doing the other. Now you've replaced him. Now it's, all right, go ahead and show us. We fixed the problem. We got you the veteran quarterback. Go ahead and show us. I need a creative run game. I need a dedication to the run game. I need Deontay Johnson schemed open. For all of the good and bad that Deontay Johnson has, he's not exactly a jump ball threat. He's a catch the ball in open space and route guys up. He's always working with who's the guy on Instagram? the route god, I think is his name.
Sure.
He's the guy that has receivers doing like, you run in a circle around this hula hoop, then you go over here and you do high knees through this ladder, then you go over here and you do a million small little choppy steps and then the ball. He's a route guy. That's what Diontae Johnson does. Give him the opportunity to route up defenders through your play calling. Diontae Johnson was asked about his previous experience with the new quarterback, Andy Dalton. Here's his answer.
Good game manager, gets people in the right spots, knows the game real well, been around obviously quite a while. So vet presence at quarterback, that's very experienced. So when you're out there, you know what you're getting. And as a player, you like that. So like I said, as our job on the outside, just to have our antennas up at all times, because you never know when he could give us a certain call or the play might change, little stuff like that.
Gets the ball to his guys in the right places. Start thinking about where the right places are for some of the guys on offense. Adam Thielen. Probably don't want him trying to outrun guys on a deep ball. But on an over route or on a crosser or on a deep dig, whatever it is, like, use their advantages. Diontae Johnson, let him route it up. Xavier Legette, get him the ball in space. You drafted him in the first round of the NFL draft. If your play caller doesn't, like, before you even drafted him, your play caller should have been, like, couldn't help himself. Napkins at dinner, scribbling out plays to get Xavier Legette the ball in space. If that's not how Dave Canales is living, then you shouldn't have taken him in the first round. I guarantee you the player taken one pick before Xavier Legette, kid by the name of Xavier Worthy.
Oh, yeah, he fast.
I guarantee you somewhere pre-draft, Andy Reid had like the Burger King receipts with scribbled plays on, like, this is how we're going to get Xavier Worthy the ball on a speed sweep, and they're never going to see it coming. And he's got placemats and things that are just scribbled on. This is how we're going to get him one-on-one with a linebacker. And that's what you do with a number one wide receiver, a first-round pick wide receiver. I need to see it, Dave Canales. I need to see it. Can't blame Bryce anymore. You scapegoated him for the 13 points you scored in game 1 and game 2. If it happens again, we're pretty confident Andy Dalton, because we've seen him do it for like 15 years, we're pretty confident he can run a competent offense. Maybe the ceiling isn't, highest scoring offense in the league, but he can run a competent offense if you set him up for success. If he walks to the line of scrimmage and the perfect defense is called, he'll recognize it. He'll get you out of it. There's no excuses now. I want to see a Dave Canales offense. If you're a quarterback guru, now's the time you kind of earn that status. If you're an offensive mind, now's the time you kind of earn that status.